Hello and welcome to Desert Rat Fiber Arts. I'm Desert Rat, but you can call me Lloyd. Okay, it's time for the August 2025 Block of the Month for PAQA, the Phoenix Area Quilters Association. And this month we're going to be doing what's called a jewel box. Now, it looks complicated, but it really isn't. If you look at it closely, it's just a 4-patch in this corner, a 4-patch in this corner, and 2 half-square triangles. Pretty easy. You just want to choose 3 different fabrics. You want a dark, a medium, and a light. Now, I didn't do a very good job at choosing my light fabric or my medium. I probably should have used the yellow as my light and then a darker green as my medium in here. But it is what it is, and it still looks nice. It just, having it that way would make your stones here in the middle pop out a little bit more. So, to do this, it's pretty easy. You're going to need 2 7-inch by 7-inch squares, one of your dark and one of your medium. And then you're going to need 2 3.5-inch by 15-inch roughly of your medium and your light, and you're going to sew them together in a strip set like I've been doing with other things. I don't have an extra one here, so I've got one that's already put together. So you sew your 2 strips together, and you'll set that after you press it, and you'll set it aside, and you'll be subcutting that into other pieces here in a moment. So with your 2 squares, you're going to put them pretty sides together, like such. And then you're going to mark from one corner to another corner with a pencil or a pen, a friction pen or something, chalk. And then you're going to sew a 1/4-inch seam down both sides of that. So you're going to wind up with something that looks like this. So you can see here I've got my 1/4-inch on each side of my line that I have drawn in there. So, and we're going to have a visitor here in a moment, it looks like. All right, so he's getting ready to jump on the table, my cat Biscuit. We're going to take our ruler and we're going to line it up on our drawn line. We're going to take our, sorry about that, he's jumping up onto the other table. He's going to sleep on my quilt that I have on my frame. Anyways, cut along that diagonal line and separate them like that. And then you're going to press towards the dark side. Trim off your dog ears. If I can open this, and there's your 2 half-square triangles, and then you want to trim them down to 6.5-inch. They should be pretty darn close to begin with if you cut them at 7 inches to begin with. So you got your 2 half-square triangles. Here they are after they've been pressed. Let's see how well I did here. Let me just kind of line that up here. You see, like 6.5. Yeah. So, yeah, if you do 7-inch, you should wind up with 6.5-inch squares. You put those aside. So then you have your half-square triangles after you trimmed off your corners. And then we're going to set those aside. Now, we're going to take our strip and we're going to subcut that into 4 3.5-inch strips. So, we have, here's 2 3.5-inch strips, and the other 2 I've already turned into my 4-patch. So all you're going to do is you're going to turn this around like this. You're going to put them together, and you're going to nest your seams, and then you're going to sew your 1/4-inch seam down the side, and that will give you your 4-patch. So you're going to do that twice. So you have 2 4-patches and 2 half-square triangles. So to put the block together is pretty easy. You're going to have, I'm just going to line these 2 up here like this, pretend that they're sewn together. And then you're going to take your, and you want to line up your light colors together so they're in a diagonal. And then you're going to take your half square triangles and you're going to point your dark towards the upper right and lower left, like that. And voila, you have your jewel box. Of course, it'll look the same if it's turned this way as well. That's kind of how I had the other one. So there's our finished jewel box. And you should have a 12.5 inch by 12.5 inch block. So that's it for the August 2025 block of the month for PAQA, the Phoenix Area Quilters Association. If you want any information about PAQA, it should be down in the link below. As well, there should be, hopefully, be a link to this pattern in there as well, that you can go on to the PAQA website and get my directions for this and make this block yourself if you'd like to. So that's it. Until next time, this is Desert Rat. Happy crafting.